Herzlich willkommen zu einer weiteren Ausgabe und diesmal habe ich die Paulina von Shopkeeper. Das ist ein Analysetool, aber dazu wird sie später mehr sagen. Sie ist aber vor allem auch Expertin, was die Preisgestaltung angeht. Und sie kann kein Deutsch, deswegen werde ich das jetzt auf Englisch weitermachen. Hey Paulina, very nice to have you on this podcast. Before we get into the subject, which is pricing, do you want to, introduce yourself so people will have an idea about what you're doing in the Amazon space?
Guten Tag, everyone. Ich heiße Paulina. Ich heiße Paulina. Just
I didn't know we could do this in
say
German.
something. Give me some credit. Hello, everyone. So thanks for inviting me. Yes, my name is Paulina, and I'm the founder of Shopkeeper, and I'm also an Amazon seller, just like most of you listening to the podcast.
Okay, very nice. And so today we want to talk about pricing. And you have some very practical tips, and I made a list, so maybe we just go through them. So number one is, do you recommend the use of coupons? Because the coupons they cost money. You pay money so that people can redeem the coupons. And my initial thought is, why would I do that? Why can't I just lower the price? Why do I have to give people a coupon? And do you think that's a good idea to use the coupons on Amazon?
It's most excellent question, Timo. And you probably know that vouchers, which is equivalent for coupon, just recently was added in to the European marketplace. Before, this existed only on United States marketplace, but just recently, like 3 or 4 months ago, they made it enabled in the Seller Central of Europe as well. And they're called vouchers there. So to answer your question, definitely, you have to enable the coupons. Why? Why is that? Now, whoever is listening, they might also not be so sure. Why are they beneficial? First of all, coupons cost 50 European cents, 50 euro cents for every redemption, right? So every time that the customer is applying a coupon, you are actually paying 50 extra cents to Amazon just because they applied the coupon. So it seems like an extra cost that might not be so beneficial. But in reality, you get so many good benefits out of it. Well, the very first thing to note is that the coupon has this little orange flag on the listing, right? So it immediately gets you higher CTR, which is the click-through rate, immediately increases your number of sessions. And people used to, they like to get deals. They like to feel that they're getting a good deal. That's why they're shopping on Amazon. Amazon is known to provide good deals for people, right? So just having a coupon there next to someone who doesn't have a coupon, it's not only that you get higher CTR for the orange bar that you have, but also in addition to that, you are getting higher conversion rate on your listing. And there is one extra side benefit that many people might not even think about, is that it gives a little bit of personal experience for the buyer. Now, I will tell you, what do I mean by personal experience? You think, how a coupon can make it personal? There's nothing personal about it. Actually, there is. Look, imagine I am a buyer and I am just shopping, right? And I see your product with a coupon and I click into the listing and there's this little checkbox, where it says, I just click it and it says immediately 20% coupon applied. And now me as a buyer, I am thinking, wow, I got 20% off for no reason. I must be lucky, or this was some promo that I caught. Maybe it's time sensitive promo. Oh my God, I should just maybe stick to it and not close the listing. It's very, very personal experience for him. He feels lucky to have your coupon. So it's an additional layer that adds to the incentive to buy for him. And of course, having a coupon can change a lot of things for you. It's all cascading from there on. You add a coupon, then you get higher sessions, then Amazon picks it up on the higher sessions and increased interest, increased CTRs, so they automatically send you more traffic and your rankings increase, and it cascades from there to very good things for you.
Okay, so that's so interesting. I mean, like I always thought it was a waste of money, but the way you explain it, it makes a lot of sense. Um, then another thing is that I noticed is that just because there is a coupon, I would have assumed that everybody is going to claim it because it's just a click and you get a discount. But in your experience, how many people actually claim the coupon?
Very good question. In fact, you remember I told you that it costs 60 cents to redemption for a coupon redemption, and it's actually 50 euro cents in European marketplace. So in fact, I noticed that even though coupon exists and people click into the listing because of it, only 1 out of the 3 people in fact claim it, meaning check the checkbox to apply the coupon. I think this happens because Amazon is not so specifically, they don't provide it so easily to understand that you have to click that checkbox. So maybe many people are not so technical, they don't know that they have to click it. And therefore, from my personal experience, only 1 out of 3 people who click into your listing and buy, they only 1 out of 3 applies the coupon. That makes the cost of coupon redemption not 50 cents, not 60 cents in United States, but it's divided by 3. So in United States, you actually only paying 20 extra cents for each person who's buying from your coupon enabled listing.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, and then the next thing is how much discount should I give so that I get the most benefit from using the coupon?
So there's 2 different approaches. Overall, anywhere in non-online world and just world on land, you will see that people sometimes use percentage as a discount and sometimes actual money amount, right? The round value amount. So you will think, which one is better? Should I use percentage or should I use the round amount? Like by round amount, I mean just some money value, like save $3 versus save 15%. So which one should you use? If you look up psychologists online, they all say that if the value of the product is high, like if the price is high, so let's say higher than $100, in that case, you should use the percentage because then the effect is bigger. It seems like you're getting a much bigger amount when you're using percentages. But in reality, on Amazon, most of our products are priced less than $100. So for us, this percentage doesn't really look that good. And plus, it's much harder to quickly calculate how much of a percentage I am getting as a discount. Let's say your price is $21.99. You will say save 15%. And then I'll be squinting my eyes and thinking, okay, $21.99 minus 10%. It's a headache, right, Timo? It's just you're gonna just don't make your customer think so hard and so just make it easy for them. $21 price and $3 coupon off. So it's very easy to quickly understand what amount in the price is the coupon off. So I personally always use just the round flat number amounts when I'm doing. But I will tell you one more thing about it. There is some psychology to that. Now, how I said when your price is $21, I recommend giving $3 off and not $4 off. Why is $3 better than 4, even though 4 seems like a bigger number, right? Well, that is because since we were little, you and me and everyone else, we learned multiplication tables. 3 times 7 is 21, 2 times 7 is 14, and so on. So when the person is looking at the discount versus the price, for example, $3 savings from the price of 21, it's very, very quickly how I can understand, it's going to be sort of 1/7 of a price. You don't actually think like that, but in milliseconds that happens in your brain. You very quickly are able to evaluate what amount the $3 is within that $21. Now look, if it's $4 off from 21, you're thinking, okay, how much am I actually getting? 21. Okay, so 1 to the side, then 20 minus 3 is 17, right? So I'm counting so much just to think. And when it's just $3 off, so always use the numbers that are sort of from that multiplication table that we learned when we were kids, because that is much easier to comprehend. And again, it will make your buyer to click. to your listing quicker. It will not give him the headache and want to move on. Make it as easy as you can. So that is one of the tricks that you can use, the pricing psychology tricks.
Yeah, and that reminds me of there is a book. It's called "Don't Make Me Think." It's about web usability. I'll link the URL to the book on Amazon in the description if you're interested in that. It's
great.
available in German as well. That it's not for optimizing on Amazon, but it's for optimizing websites. But it's it goes in the same direction. Like the people don't when you create a listing, you would assume that people are going to sit there and read it, have a glass of wine, think about it, and in the end they order. But that's not how it is, right? They look at the listing like if you're driving a car at like 100 miles an hour and it's like a billboard. That's how they look at your listing, and people don't think about it. That people don't have time. They whatever they can compute in like in a second, they will, and if it takes more than a second, they go to the next one.
Exactly, that's how it is.
Yeah, very interesting. All right, so then we have that. What about the crossed out price? And I don't want to get into the legal aspects because I'm just going to say that there is a there is a risk that you get a cease and desist letter if you abuse the crossed out price in Germany. But
yes,
we don't discuss that because this is not legal advice. But aside from that, do you recommend using the crossed out price, or do you think it's it makes no sense?
Amazon keeps changing their policies, how they display that. And in the United States at the moment, they're only choosing to show the crossed-off price next to the items that are very, very good sellers, so one of their best sellers, or some very, very crazy good deal. And still, this is not very consistent throughout all the marketplaces. In European marketplace, because the version of Amazon is a little bit I'd like to say it behind compared to Monate. First, they try everything on .com, and later, like a few months later, it comes to the European marketplace. So at the moment, this crossed-off price algorithm is not the same comparing to the one in United States, meaning that it's quite unpredictable on European side to understand when do they choose to show it and when not to show it. It doesn't depend on whether you even have it listed in your backend as your manufacturer's price, as your regular price and the sales price. They don't even seem to look at it. What you have listed there, they are doing some other things, and at the moment I am not sure how they do it. But just to prepare for it, you should always have it very nicely set up, right? So if you're a private label seller, you're probably not gonna have some recommended manufacturer's price if you don't have any distributors that are working on yours. So in reality, you can put it in a price that is significantly higher than the one you're selling, but keeping in mind the laws of your own marketplace. For example, Germany has quite a few restrictions, right? That means that you cannot lie and exaggerate too much. But you should put it there just in case your item becomes a bestseller, and then Amazon starts doing everything they can to push your item more, and then they will make that price visible. So it has to at least exist in your backend of your listing. Let's say you will do like a 20% off kind of difference in range. Don't make it something unbelievable, like it was $1,000 and now it's $100. Make it realistic, don't make something crazy. So you don't get in trouble for that. But you do want to have it there just in case it gets visible on your listing. That's all I can say about it. It's not really something we can control from our side too much.
But do you think it even works? So let's say Amazon does give you the crossed out price. Like, how do people perceive it? You know, do they really think they're getting a bargain, or do they just say like that doesn't make
Psychologically,
sense?
it definitely helps, yes. And that's why Amazon is limiting the exposure so that if you do that crossed off price next to all of the listings, it will have no effect anymore. And they know that it does have an effect on people because everywhere in the world, any shop you go, they all do that, right? So it is a method that actually works. And our brains are so used to seeing it, and it implies as if it's a deal of some sort, right? So I am getting a bargain. And people, like I said, want to get bargains. So crossed off price psychologically really helps you to sell your item, to portray it as if it's a special deal, a special of some kind. So it does help, yes.
Okay, all right, thanks. That is very interesting. And then the next thing on my list, and that's also very popular among sellers, is bundling. And can you explain, to me what the benefits are of offering bundles as child ASINs to your listings?
Yes, so in essence, it might seem like why would it be, useful to have two of the same item in one, right? Because not all of the items are bundleable. For example, if you have a rice cooker, you might never want to put two of them together. But in some cases, it does make sense to bundle the items together. Now, it does make sense exactly. What I would recommend first, how you would start to think even that you want to start thinking about the bundling. You would look at your Amazon business reports in your Seller Central, and you would check the history of the last year of the products that you're selling and see there will be a total number of orders and total number of units sold for that particular item. And check, if the number is like you sold 3,000 orders and the number of units was 3,100 units, that means almost everybody just got 1 unit each. So that product is never worth to be bundled. Now, the next item, let's say you sold 3,000 orders, but 6,000 units was sold. There you go. It's the very, very good candidate to be bundled. Now, for those who are new to this, I will explain why bundling is beneficial. Answer is that you make more profit per item when you bundle the items. And at the same time, the customer is paying less. So see, there are two-sided benefits. The customer is paying less because you can afford to give them a discount. So let's say one item costs $10, 2 items would cost $19, and 3 items $27, right? So that means they're saving $1 every time one item is added to the package. Now, the reason you are even saving money on this is because Amazon fees doesn't double up in terms of FBA fees. FBA fees grow only slightly. So while referral fees, the 15% actually exactly double up for each item when you are bundling it. So let's say for one item, referral fees is $1.50. For 2 items, it will be almost $3. For 3 items, almost $4.50. It's not exactly like that, but almost. So it's almost doubling up. But
yeah, very true.
FBA
Because yeah, you're right. I mean, like shipping has like some fixed fees involved. I mean, like the person who delivers it, they need to walk to your house and they need to ring the bell, and it doesn't matter like if it's 1 kilo or 2 kilos. There's like this fixed cost is always there.
Exactly. And FBA fees, just the way the fee is structured is that there is a standard fee, and a little bit it depends on the weight and things like that, but the handling fee is set per item.
Exactly,
if it's not. So that's exactly where you save, and then profit per unit can increase almost 1.5 times when you sell a pack of 3 versus the pack of 1. So it's really beneficial to do the bundling if you see that there is potential in it. But first, like I said, rely on the business reports. Don't just bundle everything, and then you'll be stuck with a lot of stock, which is the storage cost is eating it up and things like that.
Yeah, that's a disadvantage. I think if you're a vendor, you can have virtual bundles, but so that Amazon will bundle it for you. But I don't think it's available for sellers.
Okay, I didn't know about that option. So you have to be a vendor for that
It's
to
only for,
have.
as far as I know, only vendors can do this. So that Amazon
Okay.
will actually bundle it. Like they will take two. When they pick it, they'll actually take two. But
Oh,
it's
very
not a, it's not
interesting.
it's not
Okay.
a seller thing.
Let's hope it will come eventually to the seller side. You know how most things transfer over eventually.
Yeah, but I'm not
All
sure
the good
because
things.
like it's for the vendors they don't pay for shipping anyway because Amazon has already bought it from them. So it might
All
be
right.
different.
Okay.
All right, then yeah, so that's bundling. Then a problem sometimes is if a product is too cheap and it becomes a plus product. Um, what
Yes, the
about
add-on
that?
item you mean, right? Yeah.
Sorry?
You mean the add-on item, how it
Yeah, I
becomes
think
the
in
add-on.
German it's called plus. In English maybe it's called add-on. Yeah. So what
Right.
do you do about this if your product becomes the add-on item, or is that a problem or is
Oh,
that not
this
a
is such a
problem?
sad topic, Timo. This is very sad what can happen to you if you look at your profile page, like, your storefront, and then you see item that just suddenly have this flag add-on item, or like you said, plus, then it's such a sad moment, because
Yeah.
what happens? It's when it's an add-on item. For those who don't know, well, the person cannot just buy it on its own. He has to buy something else, and then your item can be added to the shopping cart. So there has to be a minimum price purchased, and then your item can be added. This happens when your item it's either very, very heavy or it's light but it's huge. So in terms of shipping cost, when your item is very expensive to ship and you have a low price, like something like lower than $12, then automatically, well, not in all cases, but in many cases, whenever it's cheap item that is heavy or very expensive to ship, they make it an add-on item, because for Amazon it's not worth it financially to ship an item, and pay so much in shipping, which is not covered by the fees that they collect from you. Therefore, there are two solutions for that. You have to avoid at all costs becoming an add-on item. So you would have to avoid pricing your items less than $10. I don't recommend it. And if you have to do it, you will say, Paulina, come on, but I have something like a dollar store item and I cannot charge more than 10. In that case, bundle them together. So make a sort of set. If it's, I don't know, a frying pan, add some handles to it, or just add some extra items and make a nice package so that you can charge $25 for it. And in general, if you are a new seller, don't look at the cheap items to start with. It's always more beneficial to work with the more expensive items. You will have more profit margin, more space to wiggle, more space for PPC, for refunds, for experimentation, for losses, for all these things. It's just not worth to play with the low price items. And if it become an add-on, like I said, it's a very sad day for everyone, because your CTR and conversions will decrease significantly because of that flag.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, people they tend to look at the cheap items, but they also benefit in having more expensive items. That's very true. Then then there's one more aspect of pricing, and that is it becomes Amazon offers free shipping for Prime customers. But if you're not a Prime customer, and that's also true for some people, not everybody is Prime member. They get a free shipping. I think it starts in Germany at 29 euros. So can you talk a little bit about how that affects your pricing? So if you want to optimize for non-Prime customers.
Oh yeah, I had a situation like this, exactly like you say. In Germany, it's 29 euros minimum purchase, so they get free shipping. But like in France, it's 25 euros, and in Spain, I think also 29. So it depends, right, on the country. In United States, it's $25. So in United States, actually, I had this item that was priced at $21, and to whoever did not have Prime membership, the customers were paying extra $6 or so to ship it. So it was $27 cost for them to actually buy my item. So my price plus shipping. And then I was thinking, 25 is the minimum they have to buy to get free shipping, and my item is $21. And now they're paying 27. So they can afford the 27, right? So what I did is I made it 25.99. So just 99 cents above that threshold, right? If you are in Germany, you would make it 29.99, right? Or just to be a little bit above the free shipping threshold. And you know what happened then? Then my customers, instead of 27 total, they were paying my 25.99. So even though they didn't really do anything different, I started making $5 extra on each item. $5 extra profit, that is crazy amount. It depends how many units you are selling, but it's significant change. And for the customer, in the end, they're still paying $1 less than they would if I wouldn't change the price. So my recommendation is, if you look at your listings, just open your storefront and see all of your prices. If you have any prices that go just a little bit, like a few euros under the 29, for example, you have something for 26 euros, 27 euros, I highly recommend changing those prices to 29.99 or 29.98. And just to try and play that angle of free shipping. And you will see it would actually really, really help. It's not like a huge boost, double up the sales, but it's about, let's say, like 10% or 15% boost to your sales. And it's really noticeable, and just try it. Try it today. Out of everything I said and all these recommendations, I think this is one that you can go and do today. Just change up the prices, and while Christmas didn't kick in yet, and take the benefits for a few days from that.
Yeah, very true. That's also like a nice little hack. You increase the price, then the customer pays less. That's crazy. Then, you already touched on the price ending. So you said 99. You end the price with 99. And in a previous talk you gave, you had some thoughts about that. So should you make it like 0.99? Should 0.98? Like, what are your thoughts on that? Or should you even do that? Should you just say like it's 30 euros, or should you say it's 29.99? Or is that, do people even react to that? There's 1 cent difference. Like we know that 1 cent it makes no difference, but it somehow looks different. And what are the effects on that?
In fact, you're right. There is a difference. Like if you put two exact same items next to each other, and one is priced $29.99 and the other is priced at $30. If you look at both of them and try to decide which one is more of a luxury item, you will always go with the $30 one. Just because when it's $29.99, when it has this 99 ending, it implies a bargain, a deal. And a deal usually kind of implies a cheaper quality also. So the round numbers like $30 or $20, they are all very, I don't know, somehow they have just more weight to them. So it feels like they're more expensive, more luxury, more so on. So it changes the whole positioning of your product. Just to come back to the 99.98, and like you said, there are many other options that we can try. I've seen sellers do some strange things like 29.77 or 29.17, and they're trying like all these, I don't know, 77 probably, because 777, in the lottery, it's like a magic number and people would be attracted to that. Maybe that's the play there. But in reality, when the person is reading the price, either it's 29.98 or 29.99 or 29.27, 65, I am only reading the first two numbers. Nobody reads the whole full number. We just read very quickly the first two. It's just 29 to us. So when we are skimming, like we said before, it just takes milliseconds to decide what price it is. We are not really putting our brains to analyze, it's 29, 65. Actually, the 65 and 27 endings even confuse our brain, and we want to move on quicker from that, just to avoid the pain in our brain. So we want it easy, like I mentioned before. So At the same time, what happens to your profit? Look, if the person doesn't even care if it's 27 or 99, all he thinks is it's the same to him, it's $29, you are actually losing a lot of profit a year if you add up all these cents, that you could make. So in my opinion, don't even play with these 27, 65 endings. Just use either 98 or 99, depending on how you want to position your product. If you want to be more of a luxury item and you want to imply more of a rich feel to it, choose 98 in the end. So if you're looking at your competitors and what exists right now, if everyone is going for cheap, 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 and you want to be still kind of in the good price range, but you want to imply that I am not such a cheap quality item, I am more luxurious, put the 98 at the end. Just because psychologists believe that when it's even number in the end, or overall it's an even number, even numbers always imply a little bit more luxury for some reason, right? And 99 used when you want to be the bargain item. So when you are comparing yourself to competition, you want to be as bargain as it gets, always use the 29.99, and the more nines you put there, the more bargain is gonna seem.
Okay, yeah, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
That you're actually leaving money on the table. If you don't max that out, very, very interesting. All right, so I think I went through my questions. Anything that I forget that's also important in terms of pricing?
Yes, I will give you one insight. And for those who've been maybe daydreaming through this chat, now is the time to not daydream and to listen a little bit. Just I'll give you one little insight that you can use. If you're a beginning seller, when you start, you have limited amount of money that you can spend, right? And you will say, okay, Paulina, I only have $1,000 to invest, so I'm gonna go to Alibaba and buy the cheapest item I can get because the MOQs are so high, right? They all say at least 1,000 units I have to get. That means I can only spend 50 cents on each item plus shipping. It will be my $1,000 spent. Well, in reality, from the cheapest items, you can only profit the smallest, and you will have to sell the most of them. So you will have to sell many units a day to make small profit, and to actually add up is going to be hard work to sell that cheap item in huge quantities and making profit from that. But if you focus on expensive items, so to buy an expensive item, instead of one unit costing 50 cents, it will cost $10 for one item, right? And you will say now, oh, Paulina, wait, I just told you I have $1,000. I cannot go and buy now $10 items. I cannot afford it. Well, here is the little insight that I will give you. Whenever you go to buy more expensive items, the minimum order quantity is also less. So it's not anymore the $1,000 for the cheap items. It's very often, depends on the category though, it's very often 50 units or 100 units you can get away with if you're buying cheaper items. Let's say shoes, they cost like $50 each pair. You can buy only 2 pairs, you know, and if you are buying a knife sharpener, which costs $10, usually you can buy just 50 of them and they would make it, just because the price is higher for the minimum. So minimum order quantity is always less. Now what you win, you take your $1,000, you go and buy those like 250, much less units, like 200 units of these knife sharpeners. And you have to sell less a day to make more profit. So it's less struggling for you. You have more space for PPC, more profit left in the end, less units to ship, less everything. And that's the whole secret. All the beginners are going towards these cheap items because they think they cannot afford the expensive ones. The secret is the MOQ is often less for the higher price ones. And that is where all the money is. And that's only worth to put your time and effort into that side of things. Don't spend everything on the cheap items, and then you will be add-on item, like I said, and then you will fight with all the other beginners who don't know how to start, and all these things. So that's my key insight. Focus on your first product if you can on the much more expensive ones, so that you can charge more and make more money.
That's a very, very good insight. All right. So before we end, I want to also talk a little bit about Shopkeeper. So what is Shopkeeper? You're the manager, or you're the owner of Shopkeeper. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, I'm the founder of Shopkeeper. So when I became an Amazon seller myself, I went to Seller Central and I found myself that I was pulling so many Excel reports and doing pivot tables. Probably many of you know what I mean. There's like 20 different reports you have to constantly pull and add up the numbers together, make pivot tables, see how much profit you made on each item, and then compare variations. So me being a software developer by background, I decided to build an app for myself, which would automatically pull all of those reports and show me the number anytime I log into the app. And eventually my brother and friends of friends started asking to use the app, and we decided to commercialize it. So we hired a team, built it from scratch, and that's how Shopkeeper was born. Right now it's a profit calculator and inventory manager for Amazon sellers. So it helps you exactly when you wake up in the morning and you're trying to decide which of the to-do items you have to do. For example, you could work on the images for the listing. You could go and optimize the description. You could go and order of this. You have hundreds of things you can do in the day. When you open Shopkeeper, you will immediately see which to-do items are most important. This one is losing $200 in the last 12 days. Storage fees are kicking in and it's just sitting without sales, and so you have to go work on that. Another one, PPC went crazy. Somehow bids got lowered and I suddenly spent all my budgets and now I am not making any profit on that. So that's the next item on your to-do list for that day. So that's what Shopkeeper is. It helps you as a business owner to make quick decisions what you have to work on next. And that's the gist of it in general. It's a business dashboard helping you work on your everyday Amazon business.
Yeah, and that's very, very useful and very helpful. I mean, if you're blind, then you most definitely will not have a good business. So you need to either have a tool, or you need to really spend a lot of time understanding those reports. And why would you want to invest all the time to understand those reports if there is a solution out there that does that for you? So I can highly recommend trying that out. And you do have an offer, right? So if people, I can put in a link or something so that people can use a trial of your product. Do you have some special offer? If you do, then just I'll put it in the description.
Oh, yes. Okay. So just for your audience, we will give a longer trial. So if you can put a link for them, that will be great. And with that specific link, instead of just 14 days, the trial will be much longer. And how much longer you will see as soon as you click on it. You'll be surprised how long it is. So as soon as you click on that link, you will see on the button saying start your X number of days trial. And that's the offer.
That's interesting. I mean, that offers an incentive to to try it out, because to see how long that free trial goes. All right. So just as a as a disclaimer, I don't get an affiliate commission. So if you do, then you benefit from an additional free trial. But I don't get paid for that. So just for your information. And then. I think that's it. Yeah. Any last words from your side? Don't
forget what I said. Don't go and listen another podcast episode right now. Just what you have to do. Remember one most important thing. Go and check which prices are just under the free shipping price and change them up. Remember, just do this one thing, because only a few days are left to grab all the money you can. So go and do it today.
Ich hoffe, diese Episode war für dich hilfreich und konnte dich in deinem Business ein wenig weiterbringen. Was dich aus meiner Sicht in deinem Business auf jeden Fall weiterbringen kann, ist MyTalent. MyTalent ist eine georgische Recruiting-Agentur für deutschsprachige virtuelle Assistenten. Virtuelle Assistenten sind ortsunabhängige Mitarbeiter für wiederholbare Tätigkeiten wie beispielsweise Support oder Recherche oder auch das Kontaktieren von Influencern. Das sind alles Tätigkeiten, die sind arbeitsintensiv und die solltest du als Unternehmer nicht unbedingt selber machen und dafür eignen sich generell virtuelle Assistenten. Im besten Fall sprechen die virtuellen Assistenten natürlich Deutsch und im besten Fall zahlt man, weil sie eben ortsunabhängig sind, eben keine deutschen Gehälter, sondern lokale Gehälter. Und dazu haben wir in Georgien vor Ort eine Recruiting-Agentur gegründet und wir rekrutieren dort lokale deutschsprachige Mitarbeiter. Die lokalen Gehälter, die gehen so ab 2,50 Euro pro Stunde los, kann natürlich auch drüber liegen, je nach Qualifikation, aber auf jeden Fall profitierst du davon, dass die Lebenshaltungskosten in Georgien einfach sehr viel niedriger sind als in Deutschland und entsprechend sind natürlich auch die Gehaltserwartungen sehr viel niedriger. Wenn das für dich interessant ist und ich denke, Entlastung ist für jeden Unternehmer interessant, dann besuche uns auf mytalent.io und mach dort ein unverbindliches Gespräch aus. Und wenn du in dem Formular den Gutscheincode Podcast eingibst, dann bekommst du 50 Euro Rabatt auf unsere erste Rechnung.